Today I start topic number 7 in IMT, that is electrical accident and safety measure. In this particular topic we have to discuss the points given as follows: electrical accident and safety measures. So electrical accidents, how it occur, then safety measures to be taken for that, safety regulations, and treatment of shock and fire extinguishers. This is the small content of this topic is there. Electrical accident generally occur due to non-safety measures which the person not take at the time of working in the electrical system. So first of all, whenever you have to work on any electrical system, then you have to observe all the safety measures. The safety measures, whatever equipment are designed for safety of the person who is working in the system, he should follow all these type of safety measures. Safety measures, normally that person should be take proper insulation with the system when he work in the system. So insulation is the first point, that person should wear the shoes of rubber, and he should also take the help of rubber matting at the place where he has to work on the electrical system. Secondly, all the instrument which he is using, like pliers, screwdriver, crimping tools and other tools required for repair maintenance, he should always use insulated tools for that purpose. So whenever you observe all the precautionary measures as per the directions given in the literature of the electrical practice, then you will avoid any type of accident. So how electrical accident occur? Normally what happens, when you are not giving proper attention to the work, and at the time of work, if your mind is not concentrate on work and you are simultaneously doing some other work also, then there is a probability of accident occur in the system. Normally, number of places in the system, the leakage current is flow due to insulation breakdown or due to leakage due to puncture of the insulation. So these are the main cause of the electrical accident. Normally, when there is a fire occur in the electrical system, then people generally says that fire occurred due to short circuit. Now this is, nobody go to investigate whether short circuit occur first and then fire occur, or whether fire occur first then short circuit occur. So ultimately, a simple word they say that due to short circuit there is a fire. So whenever we work in the system, we have to check the insulation resistance of the total system in which we are working. Normally, maintenance of the switch gears, in this probability of accident will be more. Whenever we work on circuit breaker, isolator, current transformer, potential transformer, relays panel and the feeder panels, wherever we work in the substation. So proper arrangement for safety is that the matting of the rubber, it should be provided in the substation, and whenever the person standing in the system, he should wear the rubber shoes of proper insulated value, so that the leakage current will not pass through the body of the person. There are certain limit given for the flow of leakage current in the body and their effect. So normally when current below 10 milliampere if flow from the body, then there is a mild injury or mild sensation is obtained in the body and it will be painful to the person. Then if leakage current value increase from 50 milliampere to 20 milliampere, then multiple control of the body is affected, means multiple organ failure may occur. And if current is more than 20 milliampere to 40 milliampere, then muscle contraction will take place and there will be breathing problem arises in the person who is working in the system. Then if the 40 milliampere to 80 milliampere current flow through the body, then there is a rapid undergo in the decomposition of the heart, and due to that the accident may become fatal and death may occur. So we have to see that for severe burns happen when current is more than 100 milliampere. So there is a different range of current which flow from the body, and what type of injury occurred in the body, it is given according to the current. Normally the mega ohm resistance of a human body is varies from 50 mega ohm to 150 mega ohm. So according to the touch potential is a potential to which we are coming in contact at the time of working. So there are two major factors of the accident. One is the touch potential, or the magnitude of touch potential, and second is the time for which we touch the magnitude of potential. So if the time is large, is more than 2 seconds, 3 seconds, then this will cause the flow of current through the body, and if this current have different range, as I have told you, different effect on the body will be occur. So safe current that can flow from the body, it should be less than 6 milliampere. If the current flow through the body is less than 6 milliampere, then a very mild shock you can feel and you can be attentive to work in the system. So whenever we work in the system, to avoid any electrical accident, we should try to follow all the type of specifications of the equipment which are provided for the safety that should be taken by we people when we do work. So whenever we observe all the precautions, then there will be no problem. Now from maintenance point of view, whenever you take the maintenance of the HT line or LT line in the field, then it is necessary that a permit for shutdown should be taken from the substation, and a written permission should be taken from the substation in charge to switch off the particular feeder or the line on which you are working for maintenance. By any mistake, if this line become on, then the person who is working in the system, he will be affected by the current. So to avoid this, the permit should be obtained in return from the substation, and whenever we go for the line for maintenance, then this permit, one copy should be there with the person who is working in the system on the field, and one copy it is just tag on the particular panel of the feeder, and it is written that permit is issued. So nobody will on it because there is a notice already tagged with the panel that permit is issued for the work. So when permit is issued for the work, then there will be no risk in working in the system. So many times accident may occur due to negligence of the persons who are working in the field as well as who are working in the substation. So this will cause the accident, electrical accident in field due to the shock or due to the on of the line under the working condition, and persons become face this fatal accident. Fatal accident means person's life may be in danger. So whenever we try to avoid this type of accident, then first point is that we should take permit for the work from the relevant or the authority who is controlling the system. When persons sitting on the substation, he issue the permit for the work of electrical maintenance on any system where supply is off during that period, so chances of accident it will be minimized. And if you are not going for its precautions from that point of view, then the probability of accident will be there. Now these are the accidents which are normally occur in higher voltage system, 11 kV, 33 kV or 440 volt LT line in the system. But accident may occur also in industries and domestic installation and commercial installation, as well as in the agriculture installation. So this is all due to lack of knowledge. The people are having lack of knowledge to work on the electrical system, and they start working in the system without proper safety, then this will cause the accident. So to prevent the accident, first we have to follow all the instructions given for the work. Proper clearance should be maintained between work point and the person himself who is working on the system. So normally a safe distance is there, that you should have 1.5 to 2 feet distance whenever you are working on an electrical system. Rest of the length it is covered by the insulated pliers, insulated screwdriver, insulated other tools which are required for the maintenance. So this is the must. Before going for any type of maintenance, you have to check whether there is a supply voltage available or not. If supply voltage is not available, then you go for the discharge rod and put the discharge rod on the system, so that whatever residual magnetism due to which some voltage is induced in the system, that will also grounded. So there will be zero potential when you work on the system. So it is necessary that earthing should be properly done for the system, and whenever you work on the system, you should use the discharge rod for discharging the any value of current or voltage available on the system, that will be properly discharged to the ground, and then it will be safe for the working. So this will be the some reasons by which we can avoid the electrical accident in the system. The electrical accident mainly avoided if you are having proper safety arrangement for this. So there are safety regulations given by Indian Electricity Rule, and according to safety measures which should be taken by us whenever we work on overhead line or underground cable or in the system on the surface. So these safety rules are given for the purpose of the safety of the person to have proper clearance whenever work in a particular system. Normally, as I have told you, whenever you work in any system, whether underground cable or overhead line or on the surface, then you have to keep at least 1.5 to 2 feet distance from the working point, and use all the insulated material and also rubber hand gloves for the hands, so that there should be no harm due to touching of the live wire. Accidentally if you touch the wire, so this will not become fatal to you, because as I have told you, 6 milliampere current below that, if current flow from the body as a leakage current, then there is a minor risk of the shock that you can feel. But if this current value increases, I have told you, from 10 to 20 milliampere, 20 milliampere to 30 milliampere, 30 milliampere to 50 milliampere, then severity of the case will be increased. So we try to keep this leakage current within the limit of 6 milliampere, means less than 6 milliampere current if there is in the system. So this leakage current is not much harmful, but you will feel a mild shock by this particular type of current which is available in the system. So if you are observing all the safety measures for this purpose, then there is no question of any type of accident occur in the system. So safety measure is important, and if you use all the safety measure, in which safety belt is there, if you are working on the overhead line, climbing on the pole, and then you are working in the system, then you should wear the safety belt for the purpose of safety. Then secondly, to wear the enclosure, to take all the insulated tools with you for working in the system, and proper type of rope arrangement or other type of chain pulley blocks should be used for the lifting of the heavy equipment. Many times what happen, accident, it may not be electrical, but due to unbalancing of the heavy load of the electrical equipment, there is a slippage is occur in the system while working, and this heavy equipment may fall on your body, and this will cause the fatal accident. Many times nut bolts may fall from the tower, and it may be strike on your head. So in that case, you will also feel bad injury on your head. So you avoid all this by taking the safety helmet. You should wear whenever you work under a tower line or whenever you work under a substation yard. So you should wear a safety helmet for that, so that any type of nut bolt or any other type of things can fall on the system, on you peoples, due to any mistake in the system, then you will not injured by that. So these are the certain points which are related to the safety measure or safety regulation you have to follow. Now there is a shock treatment chart is there. It is always available in the substation, or it is also keep in the substations, as well as on the installation wherever 440 volt supplies there in the system. Then a shock treatment chart is given, frame is given on the wall, and in which the number of steps are given for overcoming the people who are gone under the electrical shock. So these methods should be followed according to shock treatment chart, and these methods are very clear and given with the help of certain diagram also. So whenever in emergency, sometime it happens that the help of the shock treatment chart is required, then this chart is must be available with you in the system where are you working. So there are all the methods of given for recovery of the person from the shock with the help of shock treatment chart, and this can help the persons for the primary health care, or that is first aid, can be given at the time of accident, and then immediately the person, if it is severe fault, severe type of accident in nature, then immediately you call the ambulance and inform to the doctor or hospital, and person immediately shifted to the hospital. But in case of minor shocks, as I have told you, the help of shock treatment chart and other type of precautions can save the life of the person. So this should be the responsibility of the supervisory staff who is supervising the total work of the electrical maintenance. He should provide all the safety measures to the workers or the persons who are working in the system, and according to that he should follow the instruction given in the operating manuals of the maintenance of every equipment. Many times a sparking is happen at the time of working with the switchgear in the system, and due to which the heavy spark, the burning possibility is there. So mouth burn maybe takes place, hand burn maybe takes place. So in this case the distance is very important. As I have told you, if you are keeping distance more than 2 feet when you are working in the switchgear system, then if there may be a spark, so that spark will not reach to your face or mouth. And as you have completely insulated your hands from hand gloves and the rubber bearing type of insulated material, then the possibility of burning will be less. So normally the electric shock burning, it is very painful, and it required a lot of time for healing up. So you have to take very particular care whenever you are working with the main switches, starter and switch gears in the substation or in any installation where these equipments are installed. So proper precautions is that we should have a proper distance of working in the system, and we should wear or follow all the instructions or guidelines or measures given by the manual of the maintenance manual of the particular equipment, so we can avoid any type of accident. Now in the last article of this, there is a probability of fire takes place in the system. So to avoid the fire, there are different type of fire extinguishers are used in the system, and this fire extinguisher, depending upon the type of fire to be prevented, according to that this system of fire extinguishers we are used. So protection facilities for fire, against the fire, it is given that there are different type of fire extinguisher are there. One is the ionization type fire extinguisher is there. Second is smoke type fire extinguisher is there. Then photoelectric type fire extinguisher is there. Then bimetallic type fire extinguisher is there. Then linear heat type fire extinguisher is there. So these are the preventive measures with the help of fire extinguisher. Mainly in the big system there are hydrants are used. In hydrants the direct tube wells are there, from where you can get the water supply in the tankers, and with the help of pump you can spray the water on the burning area of the system. So fire extinguisher, there are also foam type fire extinguisher available, and control of the fire in the building, it can be attained by this type of fire extinguisher system. So hydrant system is used for the buildings. High velocity water spray, it is also used for the building and in the industry. Then portable fire extinguisher are used, in which there are different type of portable type of fire extinguisher is there, and they can be opened by just drop on the earth, and their safety valve is open, and from where the foams is coming out, and that will extinguish the fire. Then nitrogen injection fire prevention method for large capacity power transformer, it is used for that. Then all other type of system used for the different type of fires which is happened in the industries installation, commercial installation, domestic installation, and agriculture installation. So everywhere there is a possibility of fire is there in electrical system. So at least one fire extinguisher should be installed near the system whenever an emergency is there. So you can use that emergency fire extinguisher system. Then if the magnitude of fire is large, in that case you have to go for call the fire brigade, and in that case the hydrants are used for extinguishing the fire by high velocity spray of water, and that can be done with the help of foam also. So in this particular chapter, the types of extinguisher, as I have told you, so these fire extinguisher required according to type of place where type of particular type of the fire occur in the system, and which type of extinguisher to be used for minor work. As I have told you, minor type of fault is there, minor type of fire is there, so you can use only the portable type of fire extinguisher system. And if the fire magnitude is very high, in that case you go for the hydrant, and in the hydrant you get the high speed high velocity water supply spray from with the help of pumping arrangement. You get it in the water tank and bring it near to the fire space, and with the help of compressed system of the water flow or high velocity water to flow on the system, then you can control the fire. It is necessary that water is a conducting media, so you should take proper precaution while you directly impact this water on the fire of the electric fire. So this will be a precaution to be taken, so that you should be properly insulated from the water as well as the current from the firing place. So these are all the types of extinguisher which I have discussed, and in this type of particular case, the problem may be asked that what type of fire extinguishers are used for the firefighting in case of electrical accident, what type of precaution to be taken for electrical accident, what should be the safety measures you take for the prevention of any type of accident in the electrical system. So this topic number 7, its content is very limited, and mostly if you observe all the basic precautions to be taken as I have told you, so according to that you can manage or you can maintain the system properly, and any type of accident can be avoided. So in case of any type of accident, there are two things you should observe strictly. One is the earthing in the system, it should be proper, so that leakage current is not flow on the system or on the equipment. Secondly, whenever you go for the maintenance of any system, then switch off should be taken from the permitting authority, and a return permit should be taken for the work, so that nobody can on the system by mistake, because whenever a return permission is granted to you, then it is a confirm permission with you that you are working in the system, and nobody will on the system by mistake. Secondly, you use the discharge rod, even though if you taken shutdown on the system, but you use the discharge rod, and discharge rod will naturally, due to residual magnetism, sometimes some voltage exists on the system which is not visible, and if you put the discharge rod, then with the help of discharge rod, whatever type of voltage residual is there on the bus bars or on the naked conductor of the wire of aluminum or copper, they go to earth with the help of discharge rod. So risk will be totally zero when you use the discharge heart whenever you operate the system for maintenance. So these are the points which are to be covered in topic number 7 and which I have taken completely. So you go through this lecture, listen seriously, and you can find out the points according to the questions frame, and the answer will be available in this lecture. So whatever type of questions may come, you can compile this all the literature which I have given to you in this particular lecture. So the type of question may be asked: what is the causes of electrical accident, what are the safety measures, then what type of fire extinguishers you use for the system. So these is the point. Shock treatment chart, it is a quite big chart is there, so nobody will ask in the examination for preparing shock treatment chart, but some methods are given in the shock treatment chart. It is available in the laboratories, so you can see that chart physically, and whatever methods they have given. Nowadays this is become a old practice to go for all these activities given in the particular chart of shock treatment, because nowadays first aid facilities available everywhere, and with the help of first aid facility we can immediately help the person who is suffering from any type of shock in the electrical system. So this is all for this subject today in topic number 7. If you have any question, then you can ask me, and read my lecture or listen my lecture on this topic properly, and whatever point I have given, you get it note down in the particular notebook, and according to that you prepare the notes for the accident. There may be a short answer type question asked on the electrical accident and safety measure. So you prepare the question according to this type of literature I have given in this particular topic, and according to that you prepare the notes. So this is all for today. Thank you very much.